of the Sixpence. Anne Boleyn was a young woman with a sharp mind and a quiet ambition. Sent to the French court to be educated, she learned to speak French, to dance with grace, and to debate with wit. She was a different kind of lady, not just beautiful, but brilliant. When she returned to England, her sister Mary was already at court, and the king, Henry VIII, was captivated by her. But Anne was not like her sister. She refused to be just another of the king's passing fancies. She held her ground, knowing her worth. The king was used to getting what he wanted. He was married to Catherine of Aragon, but he desperately wanted a son to secure his throne. He saw in Anne not just a wife, but a path to a new future. He began to pursue her relentlessly, promising her the crown itself. Anne, seeing an opportunity, agreed to marry him, but only if he could make her his queen. This was a monumental task. The king needed the Pope's permission to divorce Catherine, but the Pope refused. The king's chief minister, Cardinal Wolsey, could not make it happen. The king, in a fury, dismissed Wolsey and took matters into his own hands. He broke away from the Catholic Church and created the Church of England, with himself as its head. This was a radical act, all for the sake of one woman. In 1533, Anne was finally crowned Queen of England. The people were divided. Some cheered for her, but many whispered about the woman who had broken the king's marriage and the country's ties to Rome. She was now the most powerful woman in the land. She gave birth to a daughter, Elizabeth, not the son the king had so desperately wanted. Her failure to produce a male heir began to turn the king's affection to coldness. He grew impatient and suspicious. Soon, the king's eye fell upon another lady of the court, Jane Seymour. He began to plot to be rid of Anne. False accusations were made against her and her supposed lovers, including her own brother. The charges were absurd, but the king's will was law. Anne was arrested and taken to the Tower of London. She knew her fate was sealed. She was a queen without a king's love, and in that world, that was a crime punishable by death. On a cold morning, she walked to the scaffold. She did not cry or plead. She simply said, "I have come here to die, as I was judged to die." And with a single swift stroke, the axe fell, and the Queen of the Sixpence was no more.